Welcome. Bonjour à tous. Je m'appelle Robert Primavesi. Je suis le vice-doyen du programme prédoctoral de la faculté de médecine de l'Université de McGill. J'aimerais vous souhaiter la bienvenue à notre cérémonie 2014, Donning the Healer's Habit. Good morning, everybody. My name is Robert Primavesi. I'm the Associate Dean of Undergraduate Medical Education at McGill, and it is my pleasure to welcome you to the Donning the Healer's Habit 2014. We're going to begin shortly with a quintet by the I Medici String Quartet. But at this point, I'd like you to please turn off your cell phones and pagers. And we will actually be taking photos of the students who are receiving their white coats. So we actually not to take the photos so you don't interfere with our photographer. And the photos will be available free to the students after the ceremony, as well as a DVD of the event. Alors, nous allons commencer la cérémonie avec un prélude musical de l'Quatuor I Medici de McGill. Je vous prie donc de fermer vos téléphones cellulaires et vos pagettes, et aussi de ne pas prendre des photos pendant la cérémonie. Un photographe professionnel prendra des photos de chaque étudiant au moment où il recevra son sarrau blanc. Les photos seront disponibles gratuitement pour les étudiants, incluant un DVD de la cérémonie. So at this point, I'd like to welcome the class of 2017, la classe 2017. This is the 14th Whitecoat Ceremony for the I Medici String Quartet, and they've been playing since the inception of the ceremony. This year they bring to us a quintet composed of members of the I Medici McGill Orchestra. The ensemble now is in its 26th season and contains some 70 members. The mission of E. Medici is to explore and celebrate many links between music and medicine by performing symphonic works for the community, the university, and the faculty, and thus add a unique social dimension to medical education and to the profession. Its primary roots consist of musical talents found amongst the staff and students of the Faculty of Medicine at the university, as well as their colleagues and friends from the Montreal area. So I'd like to introduce the musicians. On violin, Dr. Michael Stern, who's a retired member of the McGill University's Office of Technology Transfer and concertmaster of E. Medici. Katrina Gong on violin, first-year medical student at McGill University. Kathleen DeCane, cello, graduate of McGill Faculty of Music, masterclass of Professor Matt Heimovich. Emil Briones, clarinet, academic coordinator, Faculty of Dentistry, McGill University, also graduate of the McGill Faculty of Music and clarinet. And Dr. Ante Pajan on viola, professor of pharmacology and therapeutics at McGill Faculty of Medicine, and founder of E. Medici in 1989, director of E. Medici, as well as a violinist in the orchestra. Today they'll be playing two pieces. The first one is by Mozart, clarinet quintet, and then Por Cabeza by Carlos Gardel. Alors, bienvenue aux étudiants de la classe de 2017, à leurs familles et leurs amis. C'est un grand moment pour tous ceux qui ont contribué à la formation de ces futurs médecins. To the students of the class of 2017, welcome, as well as your families and friends. This is a very proud moment for everyone who has contributed to getting to this day today. Of course, we've had to relocate the event at the very last moment after there was a fire in the McIntyre building. And although no damage was done, the building was closed and we could not set up for this event today. The good news is that we have everybody in one room, which is what the students have been asking for years instead of divided along two amphitheaters. So the experiment for the class of 2017 continues. And we thank you for your patience and understanding. The event is being videotaped. It will be posted online. It's also being live streamed for those who could not be here today. At this point, I'd like to acknowledge a special group of faculty members who are here in attendance today. And these are the Oster Fellows for the class of 2017, named in honor of the great McGill teacher, Sir William Osler. The Oster Fellows represent some of the faculty's best teachers who've been assigned to tutor and mentor groups of 6 students from the very first day of medical school right through to graduation. I'd like the Oster Fellows, as well as Dr. Barry Slapkoff, who is the director of the Oster Fellows program, to stand so we can acknowledge their contributions to the education of these students. And if you're a first-time Oster Fellow, you will receive a copy of William Osler in to Oster Fellows, a draft of an address in Sir William Osler's hand. For the students of the class of 2017, the donning of the white coat marks your transition from a layperson to a professional. And this class is different because you've had an early clinical experience through the Longitudinal Family Medicine Experience, or LFME. And collectively, you have had 18,000 patient encounters and performed 12,000 physical examinations over the course of last year. And this year we'll continue your clinical experience with the Community Health Alliance Project, or CHAP, which will expose you to vulnerable populations in Montreal. And I've already thanked you for your patience, but this really has been an experiment, and you've been very patient as we've rolled out this new curriculum. But in January, you will take your studies from the classroom to the bedsides of your patients, and this is where you'll learn and practice medicine for the rest of your careers. Sir William Osler said, the student begins with the patient, continues with the patient, and ends his studies with the patient, using books and lectures as tools, as a means to an end. By donning your white coat, you accept to provide the highest standards of ethical care to your patient's individual and to meet wellness needs of society. You make this commitment in front of your peers, your families, and your friends. It is a big responsibility, but one that you have studied long and hard to achieve, and a responsibility for which we are confident you are ready. At this point, I'd like to invite Dr. David Eidelman, Vice Principal Health Affairs and Dean of the Faculty of Medicine, to address the class. J'inviterai maintenant le Dr. David Eidelman, vice-principal santé et affaires médicales et doyen de la faculté de médecine, à s'adresser à la classe de 2017.
Thank you very much, Dr. Primavesi. And before I give my official talk, I was thinking this morning that this ceremony is about transition to professionalism. And I had the privilege yesterday of watching the team involved in putting this event together, who, with very few exceptions, they are not physicians, but exhibit a level of professionalism that is truly extraordinary. To go from, I don't know how many of you realize, first of all, how many events the faculty puts on in a week. This is, of course, the big one. To be able to turn on a dime and to shift it from one location to another is an extraordinary accomplishment. And I just wanted to take a second to applaud the professionalism of the entire team that was responsible for today's event. Alors maintenant, mon allocation. Alors je vous souhaite la bienvenue à tout le monde ici. Ce n'est pas seulement en tant que doyen, mais en tant que médecin que j'ai le grand honneur de m'adresser à vous, à la classe 2017, et à vos invités, toutes ces personnes qui comptent particulièrement dans votre vie. Et voilà, on a perdu le micro. Before I begin, oh, there we're back again. Before I begin, I have a loud voice, I don't really need a microphone. Before I begin, I'd like to really actually personally welcome and sincerely thank Dr. Paul Grandmaison, the Université Sherbrooke, who will be our keynote speaker today. We're all very much looking forward to your address. On behalf of the faculty, I would like to express my sincere appreciation to Dr. Don Boudreau for sustaining this great event since its very beginning. This event was initially launched in 2001, and it's now entering its 14th year. One of the people in the front row reminded me that she was born 14 years ago. So it's a proud milestone for our faculty, and it does underscore really the pioneering work of Dr. Boudreau in bringing this to Quebec and Canada, and the importance with which the faculty holds this kind of event in which you get to put on a white coat. Now, for me, I've said this before, you have no idea how different it was when I was a student here. I remember the Olympic year of 1976. That would have been the exact equivalent. And many of us had come back to class after having spent the summer working at the Olympics. We had very glamorous jobs. The medical students of McGill and Université Montréal had the distinguished job of collecting urine samples for doping testing. That was the good part, of course, because it allowed us to follow the athletes anywhere they went, and we had passes to go anywhere, like the Athletes' Village and the Press Gallery, and that was really very cool. Getting started in clinical work was much less cool. We did get white coats. We didn't get any ceremonies, though. Like most things in those days, it just sort of happened. There was no formal recognition that we were transitioning into a different phase of our lives. And instead, they told us where to pick up our coats. We picked them up and we went to work. And we were good baby boomers, so we did that. We didn't ask too many questions. We knew that doctors were white coats, so it was great. We got white coats. And if you were at the Montreal General, you got a white coat and white pants, too. So that was even better. Aujourd'hui, cependant, nous sommes engagés dans un événement qui marque une transition importante dans votre vie et dans l'évolution de votre carrière en tant que futur médecin. L'enfilage de son sarrau pour la première fois est une occasion de réflexion. Vos nouvelles blouses sont courtes. Il est de coutume pour les étudiants de porter les blouses courtes jusqu'à ce qu'ils obtiennent leur diplôme. C'était la même chose dans mon temps. Et vous allez noter que ces sarraus sont fonctionnels. Ils protègent les vêtements. De plus, leurs poches sont utiles pour porter votre équipement et vos collations. What they symbolize, however, is much more important. The white coat reminds us of the attire worn by priests or shamans in various cultures throughout history, a vestment specially reserved for the healer. Of course, physicians didn't always wear white coats, and many still don't wear them today. But they were adopted more than a century ago by physicians seeking to emphasize the link between the medical profession and science. The white coat, therefore, became a symbol of the practicing physician. The white coat, of course, has also been criticized at times. In one way, because some people feel it separates the healer from the person being healed, from the patient. Some of us worry that it's a vector for infection, and there's some reason to believe that that may be so. I was trying to remember when I washed my white coat as a student. Nevertheless, there is some evidence to suggest that patients prefer their physician to be specially clothed in a white coat. Like those in traditional societies, we expect our healers to be somehow special, at least while exercising their functions of healing. And that's why the Whitecoat Ceremony is formally called, as you can see in the program, the Donning the Healer's Habit Ceremony. While we share much with the traditional healers of the past, we wear our white coats with pride because doctors now are indeed healers and not mystics or harbingers of doom or the imposters that they were sometimes in days of old. We live in an age of evidence-based medicine, of the application of science to healing. Modern-day doctors work hand in hand with scientists, and indeed, they are often one and the same person. And I hope some of you will also go on to be both scientists and physicians. And of course, they typically share the same attire. So putting on this coat, you're marking the transition from layman to professional. It conveys the professional responsibilities you will carry out through your entire clinical career. This is symbolism of a very high order indeed. Donning the white coat is the first step to becoming the outstanding doctor you one day will be. While today you don a physical coat, during your career you will adapt your appearance to the demands of the specific path that you may choose. The white coat and how it will be used will be a reflection of the person wearing it. It will be a reflection of you. As a family doctor and internist, you might have a white coat with a stethoscope in the pocket. But for some specialties, maybe it's hanging on the office door. Pediatricians rarely wear them, psychiatrists almost never do. But the white coat symbolism is nonetheless potent for that. It has been called the emblem of trust, of the trust that you must earn from your patients. We have every confidence in you that with every patient over the days and years of your professional lives, you will maintain the enduring appeal of the white coat as a symbol of hope and healing. Although the putting on of a white coat is a simple act, it is a meaningful moment for you and for those close to you. To get to this place in time has required extraordinary effort on your part, and of course, the support of friends and family, some of whom are here today. This is a great moment for pride for them too, and you are fulfilling the hopes and dreams they have invested in you. To all those families and friends, thank you. And I ask you to applaud all of those families and friends right now. Alors, futurs médecins, au nom de la faculté de médecine, je vous félicite. I wish you all the best on the next steps of your journey. Merci beaucoup.
So I notice the slides on my left are not advancing. I don't know if we can fix that, but notre conférencier principal est Dr. Paul Grandmaison, and it's actually with great pleasure that I introduce him. I've heard excellent things about him from Dr. Evren Gagné, who is the Vice Dean Undergraduate Education at Sherbrooke. So I'm looking very forward to hearing what Dr. Grandmaison has to share with us. Dr. Grandmaison se définit comme un médecin de famille de formation, un professeur par vocation, un éducateur médical généraliste par passion, un administrateur par évolution. He received his MD from University of Sherbrooke in 1973 and a Master of Science in 1981 from the University of Western Ontario. He's been a full-time teacher at Sherbrooke since 1976, where he's held many leading positions, including the position of Vice Dean for Undergraduate Medical Education from 2002 to 2011. Since 2012, he's Director of the Office of International Relations. Il a contribué de façon significative durant sa carrière à l'évolution de la profession médicale, au développement de la médecine de la famille clinique et académique, et à l'innovation et en éducation médicale pour mieux répondre aux besoins de population à desservir. Il est un expert académique en éducation médicale, développement pédagogique des professeurs, évaluation de la compétence clinique, formation médicale basée sur la communauté et distribuée, gestion des programmes et responsabilité sociale. Il est un fellow de l'Académie canadienne des sciences de la santé. Il a reçu plusieurs distinctions au niveau national. Passionate, principled, collaborator, leader, concerned with others, he commits to a more personal motto. Our dreams help others dream. Our engagements and actions bring others to similarity. Dreams, actions, and engagements makes us craftsmen of the beauty of the world. Dr. Paul Grandmaison.
Beauty of the world. I think all of us engage in that. And I hope that today, for you, it will be another step to commit your engagement to contribute to the beauty of the world. Well, be welcome, you students, parents, faculty members, and friends. Even though I've never worked at McGill, I already received 2 offers of jobs in my career. I didn't come, but I have a lot of friends, and a lot of inspiring friends. I would like to thank Don, which I met probably 15 years ago, when I was just starting my role as undergraduate dean. Et Don, à ce moment-là, était en train de préparer le physicianship, ce qui est un peu difficile à traduire en français, que nous avons traduit par profession MD et que nous avons implanté à Sherbrooke lorsque j'étais vice-doyen en 2005. Et nous avons cette cérémonie aussi. Mais Don et son équipe ont été des gens très inspirants pour nous. Et encore, j'entends aujourd'hui les Osler Fellows. Puis là, j'ai posé quelques questions, puis je me dis peut-être qu'on devrait mettre ça en place chez nous. Many thanks for those who invited me to be here, okay? With humility. I hope that... Okay, on va changer les diapos, parce que ça va aller mieux. Okay. I hope that with my words will help you, young colleagues wearing the white coat today, to reflect on your education and future career, to commit yourself for maximal development, and to engage yourself to become what I call a great physician. Une main tenant une autre main. Une interaction entre 2 personnes avec tant de signification. Let me share the following citation from Alfred de Musset, a French writer. C'est « Je ne sais pas où va mon chemin, mais je marche mieux quand ta main serre la mienne. » Pour moi, it poignantly epitomizes the impact of hand holding another hand. As physicians, we have the chance to be professionally allowed to physically hold the hands of our patients. However, we must go further than the physical contact and hold their hands emotionally, psychologically, and even spiritually. Je suis un médecin depuis 40 ans. J'ai pratiqué la médecine de famille pendant 32 ans, dont 23 ans en salle d'urgence sur différents shifts, comme on dit. Je suis aussi également professeur à la faculté de médecine de Sherbrooke depuis 38 ans. Je suis impliqué dans la gestion de l'éducation médicale depuis plus de 30 ans. But I am also a person, a human being, with a life history, emotions, and feelings. My gray hairs confirm that I have a lot of experience. I would say a lot of life. I hope experience too. Okay. But I am also afflicted with a chronic disease, possibly fatal. I have my nitro, my stent, okay? I'm taking care of them, okay? I have accompanied a friend and close members of my family in their path with chronic illness in recent years, and also with terminal illness, terminal part of their life and death. A professional and a personal life with periods of success, joy, abundance, happiness, but also periods of difficulties, sadness, questioning, suffering, and losses. With all of these, I have better understood what we mean when we say that medicine is a science and art. It has confirmed me the importance of knowledge, of science, of biomedical expertise in the competencies of physicians. But it has also confirmed me the importance of art and art, A-R-T and H-E-R-I-T, okay? Of H-E-R, with an H, okay? In medicine. And it's interesting that you may say in English, art of medicine and art in medicine. En français, l'art de la médecine le cœur de la médecine, c'est a little bit different. Okay. So that considers the humanity of the people. Okay. In future years, you will learn to, and hopefully practice both aspects. This is a message that William Osler, that all of you know, okay, meant by saying the education of the art, the moral side of man, must keep pace with the education of the head. Et je pense que Don devait avoir lu cette citation de Osler lorsqu'on a développé le physicianship. It is from this complementary and intertwined experience as a professional and as a person that I feel legitimate to be here today and to talk to you, both to the professional and the person in you. Les quelques idées que je partagerai avec vous aujourd'hui s'adressent aux médecins, aux professionnels de la santé, mais aussi peut-être à toutes les personnes que nous sommes et pour lesquelles nous pouvons parfois jouer le rôle d'aidants naturels, et donc à chacun de nous. Elle s'adresse plus spécifiquement à vous, les médecins de demain, qui, apprenant de la médecine, entreprenez maintenant une nouvelle étape de votre formation. J'ose espérer que vous vous rappellerez quelques messages que je partagerai avec vous, mais surtout que vous saurez en prendre compte durant votre formation, votre pratique, votre carrière future et vos interactions avec les patients. Patients, through their stories, has healed people for which they are authors and heroes, give us an intimate glance in their world, but also practical information that help us to tackle options of interventions in line with their values and those of their families. They are great listeners to be listened to. La recherche et la science nous enseignent les aspects pathologiques, cliniques des maladies pour soutenir les diagnostics et les traitements. Les patients et leurs proches nous enseignent les dimensions humaines d'être une personne porteuse d'une maladie donnée. Nous enrichissant comme professionnels et comme humains, ils sont de grands enseignants que nous devons écouter. Poems, even if written by lay persons, may convey a more significant message than pages of words. A patient's story and a poem will thus form the framework of my presentation. Nicole was someone I knew well, was a university teacher in nursing science. She was 50 when a routine exam confirmed her diagnosis. The disease plagued her for almost 10 years, intensive treatments for 18 months, mutilating surgery, radiotherapy, chemotherapy, and multiple secondary effects. Remission for 6 years, new energy, laughs, smiles, living fully in spite of physical and psychological scars with the anxiety of annual checkups, a hope of cure betrayed by the disease recurrence. Durant les 2 dernières années de sa vie, Nicole a vécu la progression agressive de sa maladie, une vie gouvernée de plus en plus par des traitements intensifs, des effets secondaires débilitants, une perte progressive d'énergie. La poursuite avec difficulté du travail, les activités familiales, la joie de devenir grand-mère, nourrissent son courage et sa détermination. Moments of fears and hope, fights and flights, rage and acceptance, sorrow and joy, tears and laughter, winces and smiles, aggressive treatments, secondary effects, diminishing courage, blurred future, slow pace of life, confidences, prayers, closeness, friendship, intimacy, and love. This is a patient. Arrival of her first 2 grandchildren gave her courage and determination. In the last few months of her life, Nicole decided to write her reflections through narrative text and poems. She shared them with me. I will share it with you. My body is wrecked. My mind is blurred. My soul is sad. J'ai une maladie. Je suis malade. Je vis le tout à travers ma personne. Disease and illness. I live this through my person. Nicole confirme à travers ses mots qu'avoir une maladie, un processus biologique qui attaque le corps, les organes, les cellules, et être malade, soit la réaction personnelle au fait de porter une maladie, sont très intimement liés et vécus profondément et en interaction par l'ensemble de la personne. Patient, as well as the physician, are jointly involved in two relationships. The first one is with the disease, its physiological dysfunction, the limitations it brings, and efforts to correct or at least control the situation. The second one is with illness, or what it is for a person to be ill, and the physical, emotional, psychological, and even spiritual turmoil it brings. These two relationships are closely intertwined and are at the center of the doctor-patient relationship and of the physicianship. Anxiety and sorrow overcome me, conscious and unconscious, profonde et douloureuse. Je ne sais pas où je vais. Anxiété face au temps présent qui s'envole, face à l'avenir indéfini. Peine face aux pertes actuelles et anticipées, perte des repères. La maladie, et encore plus la maladie terminale et la fin de vie, ouvrent vers un chemin inconnu de recherche de sens. Que sera l'évolution de ma maladie? Qui serai-je comme malade? Quel est le sens de cette maladie, de ces souffrances, de ma vie de façon globale? Que sera l'évolution? Que sera la fin de ma vie? La mort? Quand? Comment? Et après? Qu'est-ce qu'il y a? Des souffrances physiques, oui, mais aussi et peut-être même surtout des souffrances psychologiques, émotionnelles, pas toujours conscientes, toujours douloureuses, des souffrances spirituelles sur le sens de la vie. As physicians, our first role is to take charge of the disease and physiological consequences. However, we are also called to go over symptoms, signs, and physiologic changes in order to consider the person in its humanity, in its wholeness, with emotions, anxiety, sorrow, questions. Debilitating disease and pending end of life bring patients numerous questions about the sense of life, their connectedness with others, even the place of the sacred in their life. Issues that also confront all of us as humans, looking for direction, looking for understanding, looking for sense, looking for healing. Balfour Mount, a McGill world-renowned expert in palliative care, and who was an invited speaker to that ceremony a few years ago, once said, after control of the physical pain and symptoms, the most important role of the humanistic physician is to facilitate the discovery of meaning. Major secondary effects led to discontinuation of Nicole's treatment and necessary reinvestigation. Disaster was confirmed. No more possible treatment. 2 months with a slower and slower pace of life, renunciation of some activities, difficulty to do those which were so easy to be done before, terminal illness and end of life. Without asking her physicians, because they were much too afraid that he would have tried to convince them not to do so, Nicole and her husband went to a week-long trip in Rome. Slow visits, short walks, silence, prayers. Consider my disease and illness. Do the best with your expertise. Do the best with your limits. Partagez-les avec moi. Je ne vous demande pas l'impossible. A clear demand from a patient to the healthcare team to consider disease and illness and to demonstrate an expertise in both aspects. It is a similar demand that can be done also for natural or family caregivers. An acknowledgement that whatever the level of expertise, limits exist. A desire for these limits to be shared, not asking the impossible. In spring 2014, a paper in Academic Medicine challenged physicians to find an optimal equilibrium between personalized medicine and personalized care. And be sure that you will hear a lot about personalized medicine in the next few years. Okay. Rapidly developing and successful personalized medicine considers the person in its biological uniqueness, maximize objectivity in diagnosis, prognosis, treatments, and implement planned protocols. Personalized care considers the unicity of the person and her family in her psychological, emotional, and spiritual wholeness. Maximize subjective empathy and compassion, and emphasize adaptation, flexibility, adaptability. Un appel pour un médecin compétent, scientifiquement, qui sait prendre en charge les aspects biologiques de la maladie en considérant l'unicité physiologique de la personne. Mais un appel aussi pour un médecin complètement humain, qui sait prendre l'individu dans la personne malade, dans sa globalité, être à son écoute, tenir compte d'elle dans la prise de décision et la mise en place d'actions. The best blend of each approach is needed. Unfortunately, the most frequent failure in medicine does not usually come from the first one, but from the second approach. A week before her death, Nicole was hospitalized for drainage ascites. With her family, she decided to go back home. Despite the pain, she asked her physicians not to be over-medicated. She wanted to be alert enough to live fully the last days of her life. With expertise, combined with empathy and compassion, they successfully respected that demand. A caring physician who knows to optimally understand the patients, to know optimally to use the medication while preserving patients' alertness as much as possible is one of the most important assets for terminally ill person and their family. Considering Nicole in her oldness, physicians also suggested her and her family to celebrate Christmas 2 years before the 25th of December. What she did 2 days after leaving the hospital with her husband, children, and grandchildren. What an extraordinary gift these physicians gave Nicole and her family to tell them that it was almost the end. And why not have Christmas now? Don't wait 2 weeks. They said, if you're lucky, you might have 2. Or you will be very tired, or you might not be there. Durant les 4 derniers jours, Nicole est demeurée dans son lit en disant, c'est fini, on arrête, tiens ma main. Dernière confidence avec les gens de sa famille. Dernier, I love you, me too. Son mari et ses enfants sont demeurés près d'elle, tenant sa main. L'équipe médicale a fait de même en la visitant régulièrement à la maison, partageant des informations et conseils, ajustant la médication, donnant du support. Dieu, à travers sa foi et ses prières, et la visite du prêtre, a fait de même. 2 hours before her death, anxiety and shortness of breath, she received a distress medication. It brought calmness, no anxiety, and regular breath. with a progressively vanishing breath. Nicole died calmly at home in her own bed in the arms of her loved ones. Her breast cancer was over now. She had written, "But always convince me that you care, like a friend who holds my hand, sometimes even without saying a word. I will walk better the road of my life till its end." Je marcherai mieux mon chemin jusqu'à la fin de ma vie. Tenir physiquement la main de nos patients est un privilège que nous avons comme médecins, mais beaucoup plus que le contact physique. Nous pouvons et devons tenir la main de nos patients émotionnellement, psychologiquement et spirituellement. Voilà tout l'art de la médecine. Ceci a été clairement démontré par les médecins de Nicole. If you ask patients what they expect from their physicians, most of them will answer scientific competence and caring, always hoping for a cure, or at least for an optimal living without too many pain or discomfort, or with the disease. Patients also want someone who may say, "I care for you. I am with you, for you, and will be there to help you go through your disease, your illness, and if it has to be so, your end of life and your death." Nicole's physicians demonstrated science, but also art of medicine through their medical expertise, their respect of her wishes regarding treatment and medication, their listening of her emotions, their advice to celebrate Christmas earlier, their respect of her faith, their presence and silence, their compassion. They supported her healing, her feeling of being a whole human being, even at the end of life, with calmness and serenity. Let me conclude by a confession. Nicole was not my patient. She was my wife. She had been so for 38 years. She is the mother of my 2 children and the grandmother of my 5 grandchildren. The present picture was taken 4 days before she died, when we celebrated Christmas. I accompanied her closely, shared reflection and poems with her, witnesses the care that she received, cried with her. She died in our bed at home on December 14, 2011. Nicole, I'm also an academician, so I published History of Nicole in the section of Humanities in Canadian Medical Association Journal. I published also in French in the Actualité Médicale, trying to help people understand what we lived and what kind of lessons we may learn from that story about being competent and humane physician. I encourage you to read the papers if you want. The poem is there too. It's called Patient's Request, but in fact it should be called Nicole's Poem. De façon plus importante, j'espère que vous garderez en tête le poème de Nicole dans vos interactions futures avec des patients. Avec des mots simples, mais venant du cœur, le poème de Nicole incarne le sens profond de la médecine et de la relation patient-médecin, plus spécifiquement avec des patients ayant des maladies chroniques et des patients en fin de vie. J'espère qu'il vous aidera à reconfirmer votre engagement envers la médecine et envers le développement de votre compétence. During the following years of your clinical training, make all the necessary efforts to become at the forefront of scientific medicine and the practice of personalized medicine. But do not let technical expertise and standard protocols to be seen as the only answers to all your patients' problems. Do not hide yourself behind them. Commit yourself to also develop a deep and human engagement towards patients as persons, and a great capacity to personally and compassionately accompany with your heart the patients who, in need of your help, will consult you in the wholeness of their person, for cure, for care, for healing. Informed yesterday about your curriculum, I realized how much was connected with what I said its logo: science at hand, art at patient. You will be part of the new generation of physicians. You will be those who will take care of some of us in this room. You will be those who will take care of all those we love: friends, family members, children, grandchildren, mine and yours. Please, for us, for them, for all your future patients, and for your own self, make sure that you will become what I call a great physician, the physician that the society needs, the physician you want to be, the physician patients deserve, a highly competent physician who demonstrates both science and art of medicine, ready to hold patients' hands through his or her own whole expertise. At the end of this conference, and I am sure that Nicole, who was, as I said, a university teacher in nursing sciences, would do it with me. I am giving you my hand to each of you. I hope that that end, and that having shared Nicole's worlds and my own with you today, will help you walk better the road of your future professional and personal life. Thank you very much. Merci beaucoup.
Adam Parent, membre de la classe de 2015, a reçu son sarrau blanc il y a 2 ans. Il est maintenant en 4e année. Adam va partager ses réflexions des dernières 2 années. Adam Parent put on his white coat for the first time 2 years ago, and now in his 4th and final year, he will share his reflections on his journey in medicine. So Adam came to medicine from a master's in anatomy and cell biology. And the first time I met Adam, he was seeking funding to travel to the Canadian Conference of Medical Education to present his research on making learning in the histology lab more effective. And the second time I met him was at CCME in Banff, and he was breaking plates against a wall in a Greek restaurant. And the third time I met him, he was president of the Medical Student Society, and we got to work together very closely over that year. Adam is the founder of Vitamin Sports. That is a community outreach program that teaches nutrition and exercise to elementary school students, and was the winner of the community outreach best student project in the very first Shout event. He is president of the MSS Hockey Club that will be traveling to London, Ontario in April to play in a charity event. He is president of the Emergency Medicine Interest Group. And Adam was recognized for his leadership at McGill by getting the McGill Scarlet Key Award last year. And the white coat could be all about leadership, but it's about a lot more. I'll turn it over to Adam.
Thank you, Dr. Primavesi, and welcome to family, friends, faculty, Osler Fellows, Dr. Grandmaison, and especially you, the class of 2017. Today truly is a momentous occasion, and I'm honored to share in this day with you. I think I speak on behalf of our class, but also on behalf of McGill students past and present when I offer a sincere, profound, and heartfelt congratulations on today. Today is a day to celebrate. In many respects, you've made it. It's taken you all the years of hard work to be able to stand here today. Today is a day for you to be proud of your accomplishments and for your friends and family to celebrate with you. Enjoy it. Getting into medical school isn't easy. At least it didn't seem that way for me. It was a longer journey than I had originally planned. I had applied to many schools across this great country and beyond. After several rounds of applications, interviews, MCATs, I found my home at McGill. Though I always thought I was a great candidate, what continued to escape me was that so are all of you, and so are the thousands of students who want to be in your seat today. So be proud. You've earned this. I always pictured my Whitecoat ceremony as the moment I could sit back and finally take that deep breath. I had made it. And in many ways, it was. But it was also the moment I realized that my journey as a physician was only just to begin. I sat in your seat not so long ago and wondered what the future had in store for me. I remember that feeling very vividly. I remember the speeches being inspiring, a debt I hope to repay to you today. I remember thinking that I was about to receive a white coat, a symbolic transition from the classroom into the clinical setting, and now I was to have responsibility, true responsibility. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't terrified. I was petrified. As my classmates began to receive their white coats, I was left to wallow in my own thoughts. Did I belong? The Whitecoat ceremony was the culmination of a lifetime of dreams and aspirations. Could I live up to those daunting expectations? As more of my classmates received their white coats with their beaming smiles, I was having a crescendo of concern that maybe I missed my calling as a social worker, a lawyer, a researcher. Or maybe there was a mistake with the acceptance letters in the mail. Was there a much more qualified, responsible, intelligent Adam Parent out there, and did I get his letter by mistake? These were the thoughts that were swirling in my mind as I sat where you are today. My last name begins with a P, and it seemed like an eternity had passed, and we were only at the last names that begin with D. I certainly didn't envy my classmates whose last names were Williams and Zidlicki. My name was finally called, Adam Parent, and I was relieved to discover that they actually had a white coat for me. I had the freshly ironed jacket slide on one arm at a time. With it on my shoulders, it was time to tackle the new challenges in the clinical setting. You have earned your white coat today, and no one can take that from you. Donning the white coat is a remarkable privilege. However, you should know that it is more than the threads on your shoulder that will make you a great physician of the future. It's taken me a few years to learn what it means to don the white coat. It is a first step in the transition from a student to a healer. With my crisp new white coat, I remember as I began my first rotation, I was bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. I have an image that I walked through the emergency of the Royal Victoria Hospital with this overconfident walk on the way to meet my internal medicine consult team. I had the confidence that was comforting and unmistakable, for now I was a clerk. In hindsight, this was completely misguided. Boy, did this confidence wane quickly when I met my team, my staff, and the 3 residents I was to work with. We exchanged pleasantries so quickly that the names of my new colleagues were lost in a moment. And my staff quickly began, "Well, Adam, we have a 52-year-old female who needs to be seen who has hypercalcemia. Why don't you give me a differential for hypercalcemia?" In that moment, in a small room no larger than 3 meters by 3 meters, 5 of us crammed together, I paused briefly. I glanced around innocently. I curiously awaited the response from one of the 3 female residents in the room. I was certain the Adam to which my staff was talking was certainly one of them. When I discovered that she was, in fact, speaking to me, I stuttered, I stammered, I stalled for what seemed like an eternity. Needless to say, my differential wasn't extensive, let alone complete. Disappointed about my academic performance, I left to see the patient. I arrived at her bedside and asked what had brought her into hospital. The history ensued, and the patient detailed with me some pertinent symptoms and their characteristics. She also continued to share with me the details of her recent diagnosis of multiple myeloma and how it was affecting her not only physically, but also emotionally and psychologically. She explained how difficult it was to share the news with her children. She meticulously detailed her fear of death and how she was grasping on for whatever hope she could find to help her move forward. You could see the comfort and relief in her eyes as she expressed these feelings to me. It was a particularly poignant lesson for me as a person, a student, and a future physician. My differential for her lab results certainly wasn't vast. However, I wasn't sent to the bedside to evaluate her lab results. I was sent to care for her. Listening to the patient and allowing her to share everything with me was the beginning of her healing process. For me, it was the beginning of my education of what it really meant to be a healer. That is what will truly change after this ceremony today. You are no longer just a student. Your responsibility is no longer just to yourself or your GPA. You are a healer, and your responsibility will now be to your patient. It was from this experience that I gained perspective about our role as medical students. We start off in medical school with the feeling that we always have to have the answer. If you don't have the answer, you've failed. But working in a clinical setting is far more complex than the multiple choice exam. I have discovered that success as a medical student is not always knowing the answer, but recognizing that I don't always have the answer. Remember that it's okay to not know the answer. You are not a failure, you are learning. As a physician, you will always be learning. Be open to and embrace the learning experience. Seek out and understand as much information as you can to help your patients now and in the future. You will never know everything, and that's okay. And don't let this consume you. Part of your job for the rest of your life will be to continue to expand your knowledge base. You should learn to embrace it now. Be patient with yourself and make sure you continue to enjoy this learning process. Now, when left to ponder what other important messages I could pass along to you today, I decided upon this next one because I benefited from it greatly. During difficult times, the most important lesson I learned is that you are not alone and you can always ask for help. I want to repeat that statement because it is impossible to highlight its importance. You are not alone and you can always ask for help. The road ahead will provide wonderful times, but there will be difficult times. What you learn from these experiences will make you not only a better physician, but a better person. Every one of you will have a clerkship experience that is unique to you. The people you encounter will all be different. How your relationships impact you will all be individual. One thing that you will all experience are challenging days, and the only way that you will succeed in these challenging times is with the help of others. I remember the first unexpected death that I had on the wards of the internal medicine floor. We had a patient who I had helped care for with the rest of my team, but ultimately her care was assigned to me. Over the course of her long admission, I came to know her and her caring husband quite well. I spoke with them at length every day, explaining the tests we were running, the results of her exams, and her progress through her illness. One morning, I arrived on the medicine floor to discover that although she was making strides to battle the infection that was in her blood, her heart had ultimately failed her, and she died during the night. I was particularly distraught over this event. I'd be lying if I said it still didn't impact me to this day. I was left with my jaw on the floor, not knowing what to do, what to say. In that moment, I asked for help. Discussing what happened with the team helped me better understand the scenario. Dr. Galley and Dr. Dawson, two of my attending staffs, offered sage and timely advice, as they often did. It strengthened me, comforted me, and gave me the tools to explain to the husband what had gone wrong. Because of the support from my team, I was able to speak to the husband in turn and show him that he also was not alone. I finished my internal medicine rotation and moved on to the next one, but this patient stuck with me. Several months had passed, and my thoughts of this sad event had been pushed to the side. One day, walking the halls of the Royal Victoria Hospital, I heard my name called in the hallway, Dr. Adam. I stopped and saw the husband of the patient who had passed away. He was seeking some medical attention of his own. We chatted briefly about how he was managing since the loss of his wife. As we finished chatting, he stopped me, and as tears rolled down his cheeks, he hugged and thanked me. He thanked me for the care that I provided for his wife in her last days and the support that I provided him. I can't begin to imagine the sort of loss that he experienced, but I like to think that in that moment, he knew he was not alone. I truly believe that because I asked for help and recognized that I was not alone, I better perform my role as a healer. The journey you're about to embark upon is a strenuous one. As you discover the healer role yourself, you will also continue to strive for academic excellence. These challenges should not be considered obstacles to overcome. Instead, view them as opportunities to shape your character and help you evolve. Success in this field often comes at the expense of some grueling study sessions and some sleepless nights. It will all be worth it once you get to the finish line. Now, a few more tidbits of advice to get you there with a smile upon your face. Never forget the person you are. Remember to take the time to look after yourself. This will often be difficult to do. Your patients will benefit more from your healthy mind and body than they will if you spent the extra hour memorizing the classification and stratification of the pathologies of lung cancer. Remember, you can always look that up. Also, remember your partners, your family, your friends. This may come as a surprise to some of you, but they got you here. It wasn't just you. You will hear this over and over again, but I cannot stress its importance enough. Nurses, orderlies, porters, cleaners, unit clerks, they are your friends. You will learn just as much from them as you will from your senior residents and staff. A smile and a respectful approach will yield dividends greater than had you purchased Google stock in its infancy. These people are a wealth of knowledge. Be kind to them, take the time to get to know them, and most importantly, respect them. When all is said and done, and you get into your daily routine, you'll have your list of patients to care for, and you are their physician. It doesn't matter what you've done before, what specialist you hope to become, what religious or ethnic background you hold, whether you are a med-P or hold a PhD in astrophysics. You are their physician, and they look to you for everything. Though you may not fancy yourself a physician, nor have you written exams to merit the title, every day you will be seen as a physician by your patients, and it is what you do that will inevitably impact their care. You will learn that offering patients dignity and kindness often provides more therapeutic value than their antibiotic regimen or their latest CT results. Take the extra moment to listen to their story instead of shuffling along. Take the moment to hear their concerns. Go the extra mile in the physical exam to look for jugular venous distension and percuss for dullness. Success as a clerk isn't showing your patients so you can emulate physicians. It's showing them care, compassion, and empathy. You are a healer, and this is the time to start acting like one. Now, with this in mind, I will leave you with a challenge. You are all brilliant students, and you wouldn't be here today if you weren't. If you continue to work as you always have, your academic success will simply be inevitable. Medicine, however, is more than academia. There is the part of the medicine people refer to as the art of medicine. I encourage your continued pursuit of excellence as a pupil, but I challenge you to find the artist in you. William Faulkner once wrote, "Don't bother just to be better than your contemporaries or your predecessors. Try to be better than yourself." Embrace your clerkship experience, and you will emerge from it a budding young physician, but more importantly, a better person. I am so excited for you in this journey you're about to embark upon. On this very special day, I wish you a congratulations from the bottom of my heart and all the successes of the future. Thank you.
Alors, nous allons maintenant commencer avec la remise des sarraux blancs. Les étudiants seront assistés avec les sarraux par Dr. Namta Gupta, vice-doyenne adjointe pour le Bureau des affaires étudiantes, et par Dr. Barry Slapkoff, directeur du programme de l'apprenti médecin. We will proceed with the donning of the white coats. You will be helped on with your white coats by Dr. Namta Gupta, Assistant Dean for Student Affairs for the Faculty of Medicine, and by Dr. Barry Slapkoff, Director of the Physician Apprenticeship Program. Somebody's going to help you line up so you're in alphabetical order. Otherwise, you get the wrong coat. And besides the wrong name tag, it probably won't fit properly. And so when your name's called, please come up. And because you can't get enough of Osler, you will get a gift of 2 books from Osler, from the faculty, A Way of Life, and Sir William Osler, A Selection for Medical Students, which you will be able to pick up at a future date. You will receive an email. Please read it. And we'd ask the audience to hold your applause until the very end, once all their students have received their coats. S'il vous plaît, veuillez garder vos applaudissements jusqu'à tous les étudiants ont reçu leur sarrau. Where are we? Are we lining up or are we just getting up? Okay, so Ryan Adeski. There we go. I knew this would work somehow. Sumun Ahmad. Faraz Al-Ghazawi. Peter Alam. Lionel Alberti. Alan Antun. Christina Arian. Mohammed Ashur. Haya Aziz. Safa Azuz. Lauren Basmagian. Marie-Pierre Bastrache. Ala Badira, Alexandre Beauchamp, Maxime Billick, Anne-Marie Brisson, Corinne Brunet, Miles Byworth, Marie-Claude Chartrand, Zoya Chowdhury, Liana Chen, Joshua Chin, Layla Cohen, Isabel Comby, Beatrice Copps, Catherine Courteau, Gabriel Crevier-Sorbo, Marta Cybulski, Jeremy Sigler, Claudie Donderon-Boulduc. Stanley Dow. Laurent Darvaux. Gabriel Devlin. Ionut Diaconescu. Trish Din. Chloé Dion. Octavian Dobrescu. Cédric Doucet. Isabelle Duchenet. Hubert Dufour-Néran. Mark Dunn. Malik El Haram. Jules Eustache. Jean-Pierre Fallet. Hiba Farhat. Alexandre Ferland. Sabin Philemon. Catherine Fisher. Cora Fogaing. Craig Frankel. Jason Frieder. Giuseppe Frenda. Michael Froelich. François Gagnon. Sophie Gao. Yun Gao. Annick Gauthier. Flora Gagliardi. Nadir Ghulam Hussain. William Guertin. Stephanie Guimont. Justina Gurgis. Jenny Guo, Eleanor Haberer, Luke Harrison, Amelia Hecht, Marika Hertel-Lewis, Rebecca Hoffer, Brent Hopkins, Alexandra Horobjowski, Ada Xie, Gordon Hua, Amy Huang, Yu Qing Huang, Jonathan Udon, Lisa Uno, Bonnie Hewer, Jafar Hussein, Carolyn Huynh, Patrick Yanatone. Tamara Ibrahim. Harry Iyer. Raha Jahani. Alborz Juya. Bilal Jubran. Dana Keelty. Alexander Kelly. Leticia Kendek. Julia Kriguian. Vanessa Knight. Alexander Kuiman Suisa. Daria Krishkaya. Aaron Kugler. Alexander Lachapelle. Olivier Lacoste-Lebouy. Philippe Laflamme. Anissa Lakani. Laurence Lanouville, Jordan Larivière, Kelly Lau, Marianne Lemire, Charles Litwin, Aaron Luxembourg, Emily Ma, Janani Mahaswaran, Ugo Mancini, Mayuri Manogaran, Jessica Marciano, Tanisha Marshall, Sarah McBoyle, Christina McHenry, Sophia Mikoniatis, Alexandra Mikhail, Anna Maria Masariu, Samantha Moorcroft. Justin Moraine. Estelle Morin. Vanessa Morin de Foix. Raphaël Morisseau-Guillot. James Morse. Maria Nasser. Taylor Naiman. Hui Tam Nguyen. Ariel Noel. Richard Uden. And we've made it to the P's. Marie-André Panzini. Isabelle Payette. Samuel Pike. Zuzana Prazlikova. Andrew Rabinovich. Noor Rashed Dastus. Rajam Raghunatham. Mashroor Raman. Anita Raj. Tanguy Reni. Leah Restivo. Michelle Ricci. Maxime Robert Halabi. Sanda Rotari. Paulo Roy. Simon Roy. Jeremy Sabin. Melanie Saba. Harrison Saulnier. Erica Secareccia. Kim Surgery. Roya Shaji. Zhou Shao. Achatosh Sharma. Nicholas Shepard Jones. Matthew Slimovich. Michael Suadan. Frédéric Saint-Pierre. Brendan Swift. Tina Tang. Omaid Tanoli. Anne-Charlotte Tifo. Combe Tolomier. Hiromi Tessera. Mansour Touré. Jordan Trevisono. Harmony Tsui. Senna Turkdogan. Jasmine Vaffy. Guillaume Vandal. Ioana Varlan. Neil Verma. Naomi Vizina. Ruhi Vinayak. Sophie Vincent. Jemmy Walrod. Cindy Wang. Nope. Nope. You have a Patrick Wang? We're out of order. You have Cindy? Okay. We're actually okay. We're okay. Patrick Wang. P after C. Shitong Wang. Nebraska Warsey. Christina Weistock. Sarah Wing. Zhang Zhu. Denis Yahioui. Zun Zhao. Joris Zhu. Mingsha Zhu. Tianwei Zhu. Jesse Zuckerman. And after ZU, I'm out of letters of the alphabet. And we're out of white coats. Now we can congratulate the class of 2017. J'invite maintenant Matthew Slimovich à donner l'allocution de président de la classe et d'assister la classe avec le serment de la promotion 2017. I would like to ask Matthew Slimovich, president of the class of 2017, to address his class and to lead the class in their class pledge.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, friends and family, faculty and guests, thank you all for coming. I know a lot of you are really, really hungry, and so we'll keep this short. I'd like to begin by a special thanks to some of the faculty members who were able to make this event possible, even though there was a fire yesterday in the McIntyre building. A special thank you to Ann Briggs, Leah Tiratero, and Jeanette Arsenault. They did a fantastic job relocating this ceremony to New Residence Hall. I'd like to extend a special thank you to the students who made this ceremony possible. Saman Ahmad, Mary-Pierre Bastras, and Erica Secareccia. Thank you, all three of you, very, very much. When I was thinking what to write, I was thinking, what one word would summarize the class of 2017 really well? One word came to mind. I didn't want to use the word guinea pig because I don't think that represents us well. The word lucky came to mind. Lucky not just because we're in medical school and we're in good health, but lucky because we're in a new curriculum. But also lucky because our patients are lucky to have us one day as their doctors. So I think lucky is the word of choice. Now, for the moment you've all been waiting for since the beginning of medical school, will my fellow classmates please rise and join me in reciting the class pledge? Oh, let me go to the right page. We'll start in English. From this day forth, we, the McGill Medicine class of 2017, have the honor of donning our whitecoats. We commence our journey from the foundations laid before us by our predecessors. We pledge to be our patients' allies as we accompany them compassionately through suffering and health, to demonstrate clinical excellence and ground our care in evidence-based medical practice, to educate and empower our patients, enabling them to make informed decisions autonomously, to work in an interdisciplinary team that provides preventive and whole-person care while recognizing the limits of our experience. We admit the lifelong learning, the dissemination of knowledge, and the promotion of innovation. From this day forth, we pledge to honor and uphold the trust that has been placed upon us by society. And now in French. À partir d'aujourd'hui, nous, membres de la cohorte 2017 de la Faculté de médecine de McGill, avons l'honneur d'enfiler notre sarrau blanc. Nous entamons notre parcours à partir des fondations établies par nos prédécesseurs. Nous promettons d'être de fidèles alliés de nos patients alors que nous les accompagnons avec compassion dans la souffrance et la santé, de faire preuve d'excellence clinique et d'offrir des soins qui concordent avec l'évidence scientifique actuelle, d'éduquer et d'autonomiser nos patients, leur permettant de prendre des décisions éclairées, de tenir au sein d'une équipe interdisciplinaire qui procure des soins préventifs et holistiques tout en reconnaissant les limites de notre expertise, de s'investir dans un processus d'apprentissage continuel, de disséminer nos connaissances et promouvoir l'innovation. Aujourd'hui, nous promettons d'honorer la confiance que la société a placée en nous. Now, Dr. Primavesi.
Alors, merci à tous ceux qui ont assisté aujourd'hui à cette cérémonie. Thank you to everyone who has come today. A special thank you to the undergraduate medical education administrative staff that have been here today to usher you to your seats, and in particular to the main organizers of this event, Ann Briggs and Carolyn Cichon from Physicianship, Savannah DiLolo, and Leo Titero and Sally Delbecchi from Special Events, and also to Jeanette Arsenault, who most of the class doesn't know, but works in postgrad and went out of her way yesterday to make sure that the coats got here today. I think that was really, showed a lot of commitment and professionalism. Also thank University Advancement, who funded this event, Barry Weldon, Manly Q, Joanne Marie Cotilla, and Chodobiak and Jason Clement. And now, we would like to invite you to join a reception to celebrate the students. On vous invite à une réception pour les étudiants et leurs familles. And finally, in the words of Barry Slavkoff, Director of Physician Apprenticeship, enjoy the day and with humility, take pride in your accomplishments.